Welcome back to the Design Studio. My name is Adam Avrilla and I am excited to share with you our bonus video for February utilizing the Supreme Love Bouquet. The base of our arrangement for this bonus bouquet is going to be an armature we're going to create together. So what we have is I'm using curly willow branches. You could use dogwood branches. You could use any branch that is flexible and will give some bend. And don't use brittle ones. Don't use ones that have been sitting outside. You need some real ones. And the stores will have some branches for you to use, so go ahead and get them from the stores. What we're going to do is we're going to make a circle with the branch. If you feel like it's just too tight and it's not going to go without breaking, just take your thumbs and just give it a little slight bend. You break up the fibers within the branch and that'll give us the movement we are looking for this armature. So we're going to take the harder part and just wrap it around and entwined. And you can do this. We are going to want to leave some of these tendrils coming out. So you're going to do this for about 10 branches. Again, you just take this, just wrap it around. And you see how we're having some movement. And what we're going to end up doing is gathering all 10 branches and creating this beautiful nest. Now that we have a pile of our ring branches here, we're going to use a 7-inch tall by about 7-inch round cylinder. We want it to be a little bit shorter so we can see what's happening. And you're going to take these, and some of them will come apart. You just put them back together. It's not the end of the world. And we're just going to lay them haphazardly on top with remembering to keep these tendrils going out all around. And as you do this, you will see they'll come down to the table, and I'm holding my hand in the middle gathering point for a reason, so make sure you hold them there. And you can just put them around and it creates this beautiful armature, right? It just looks natural, and this is an armature that you can use again and again with different designs that you do in your home, or even like the perfect gift. So here we have this chaotic but beautiful design. And I'm going to take a wire I have, and where my hands were, just wire through. Just to give this a little bit of locking in place. That way they won't fall on you as you design. But I will tell you, if you don't have a wire, you can use yarn, any kind of mechanic that will lock it in place. Because then you could pick it up and put it on a different vase. You can save it for next time. But how cool is that? Very different, very beautiful. So we have our armature ready. We have our vase ready. Next, let's get our Supreme Love Bouquet. And if you've watched previous videos, which I'm sure you have, you know that we always start with separating out the product so we know what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and separate this stuff out into categories, because this bouquet is all going to be about garden design, what you would see outside. And so grouping is going to be our key for this design. We want to group the flowers together, and that's how they would grow outside. After all, you don't see many happening differently. So we have our flowers grouped. Let's move these over here. Be sure to send me messages, send me pictures of what you've done. Love to see what everybody's doing out there with these designs and how you make it your own. Gorgeous. So we have these beautiful Aurelia foliages. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of them, and you're going to cut right at the tip of the foliage, and we're going to put this inside the vase. That'll just give some beautiful green inside. It'll hide stems. Isn't that pretty? And you're gonna take the other one, cut some stem, and again, you know, I use a knife, but go ahead and use clippers, don't cut yourself. And we're gonna put this on the vase lid, and we're gonna put this over it. Because then you can see that we have some green underneath all of the branches. We don't want to cover the branches so much. Our first beautiful insertion will be these gorgeous Asiatic lilies. And let's put those front in focus. You're gonna go right through the branches, and the branches will hold it in place. Remember, if your lily is not open at home, leave plenty of room for the blooms to spread out. And let's counterbalance that with these gorgeous roses. Foliage comes off, and we're gonna just put these opposite side as a grouping into the design. Remember to leave space for them to open. We wanna see the beauty of them opening. And you can see how we have some balance happening here, right? Next, I want to take our spray roses. And let's go ahead and put them next to the lilies. The reason I'm doing that is that the spray roses are a bit smaller in bloom, and so that'll help the visual balance of the design. Because the lilies are so big in bloom, these are smaller, so that'll help the visual balance. And as you do this, you'll notice that the branches really do hold the stems in so well. Our counterpart, our beautiful red Alstroemeria. Let's put these over on this side by the roses. Grouping is a good way to have visual impact with flowers. This bouquet is basically a two-tone bouquet, so you have all these beautiful grouping opportunities. And you can see there's grouping happening. Next we have our gorgeous Matsumoto asters. So clean off all your foliage. I can't say that enough. I go and I see bouquets at different places and they have all this stem foliage in the water, and what that does is it just creates bacteria and your flowers do not last as long. And I know because you're watching these videos, you care about flowers lasting long, so I already know, and I shouldn't be telling you, that you change the water daily to keep the flowers lasting longer in your home. I bet you already know this stuff, but I feel like I gotta say that anyhow. Oops, I broke one, but that's okay. And do you see how the grouping looks like it's just growing in a garden outside? Next we have some gorgeous lavender palms. I'm gonna go ahead and put those next to the lilies. And I'm gonna cut a couple of these blooms off. Cut a couple of these off. Pretty. So we have a stemma status. This is another one of those that we have some long laterals. So let's cut the two longest ones off. And I am going to put this in between the lily stems, below the lilies, just so it adds that beautiful purple color. And I'm going to take this and put it over here. So that is our base of floral insertions. I'm going to show you two different ways you can use these laterals that we took off. One, you could put these and you could just take a few of them, cut them off, and we can put them at the base here, just to have a little bit of brings your eye into the design. That's one way. So another way we're going to do is we're going to do something kind of creative with this. This is floral adhesive. It's a tube of glue. We're going to be using this for projects coming forward in a few months. So this is something you're going to want to have on hand. You can get this at a craft store, but it's called Oasis Floral Adhesive. It comes in a tube like this. Again, we're going to be using this, so grab yourself a bottle. But I do want to show you when you open it, take your cutters and just squeeze that up so the glue doesn't come out all at once. Okay? And then I'm going to show you how to make a quick stand. So cut half of your box and then cut it again. And I promise you, this is something you're going to love for being a home designer to use. So you have the lid, put a little bit of glue on the lid, on the top where you cut, and just hold this down. So what this is going to do, it's going to create a stand for our glue. So you're going to definitely want to do this. Again, cannot praise this product enough. It's going to go so far, especially when we start to make our head crowns that I know everybody's wanting to do. So that's what we're going to use to finish it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these beautiful daisies. And now this is something you're going to want to do before a dinner party, or you can even alter these out. So cut the stem off flat. Take a little bit of your glue, and I did not let that dry, and just put a dab of glue on there. Not a lot, just a dab. I know we always think, you know, we want to do more, but really for this, you don't need to do a lot, just a little dab. Let them rest. By resting, I mean, let them sit there so the glue can kind of cure for about 30 seconds. When gluing these, make sure you cover up where the flower was cut, because that seals in the moisture. And then we're just going to take these, and we're going to bring the design out onto the branch. And just hold it there for a second and it'll grab. The glue will get tacky. How fun is this? Just to bring some of these blooms out onto a branch. And it just kind of creates a little bit more movement in the design. This one I think I'm going to have to hold for a little bit longer. You can do this with the Austrameria blooms. Cut them off just like the daisies. You could do this with the spray roses. You do not want to do this kind of technique with the lilies or the roses because honestly, they're going to be just too heavy for the branches. But how cool is that to just add on a little bit more movement to the design? It's a little bit more interesting, but I am in love with what we did with this Supreme bouquet. Thanks for watching our bonus February video. I hope you love it as much as I do. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next month.